left Francevic now in second spot. John Goss third. Walkinshaw already disappearing over the top of the mountain. Here comes Johnson.
Wretched luck.
Johnson's third, in fact. Goss in that little incident has slipped back to fourth, followed by Brock and Richards.
There's problems for Alan Grice. Whatever the problem is, that is not the place where he wants to park for the remainder of the day. Wretched luck for one of the fastest qualifiers, the fellow who desperately deserves to win this race. And he's trying to crank it backwards, perhaps even try and start it, or at least certainly get it out of harm's way at that particular part of the track.
Brock has his hands full with Jim Richards, as you can see. Francevic, Johnson. So the Volvo survives.
Well, with one Jaguar out, that's the Jeff Allen number 9 car. For an update on that, let's go down to the pits and to Pat Welsh.
Michael, as you saw, the Jaguar was pushed back into the garage. Andy Morrison, the team manager, is with me. Andy, what seems to be the problem?
The situation is he appears to have been hit with some debris and it's broke the right front hand lamp, and the glass has found its way into the inlet track and it appears to have damaged the internals of the engine.
I know you've got a lot of personnel here. Is there a chance of repairing the car and getting it back on the track?
Well, they're quickly looking at the job at the moment, and if we can get the car back out, then we will do, but it looks pretty bad at the moment.
Okay, Andy, best of luck. It's back to you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Pat Welsh.
That's the strangest explanation I've ever heard.
It's a bit like the old Pete Gagan. I had an electrical problem after the conrod knocked the distributor off.
There's Robbie Francevic, and for all you Kiwi viewers looking at our telecast today, he's doing one heck of a job up there, and has done one heck of a job during the Australian Touring Car Championship this year. The number 55 Volvo heads up Mountain Straight one more time. And meantime, there's not much happening, but that just backs up with the problems that they've had with the Jaguar.
Difficult to understand how it would find its way in and do any damage to the engine, but, well, we'll just take it as read, and certainly they're doing some frantic work in there, but you can't afford to give away a start in this race, and if it takes them 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour to fix it, they're just going to have to go out there for the exercise.
Alan Grice out of the car, bonnet and boot up, trying to determine what the problems are with car number 6 after having shortened the wheelbase of the 26 car earlier in the week when he put it into the fence up near Reed Park. This car here, Robbie Francevic in the 242 Volvo, the turbo, running the slightly softer Pirelli Radial D5 compound, softer than most of the guys that are behind him at the moment. So it's a question here as to whether or not he will have to come into the pits earlier, of course, to change rubber. So we might be looking at some sort of a false economy with his performance at present.
Grice with boot and bonnet up might have a fuel line problem. Anyway, he's sitting there cooling his heels while Robbie Francevic is flying high across the top of Mount Panorama, lapping that RX-7 already.
Johnson, for example, Gary, has gone for a harder compound and a different brand, Avon tyres on the Mustang, and behind him Peter Brock and Jim Richards both using the D3 Pirelli compounds. So they wouldn't be getting quite the same sort of adhesion that Robbie would be getting at the moment with the Volvo. But he's churning out plenty of horsepower, had some wastegate and turbo boost problems earlier in the week. And one of the good things about this combination in car number 55 is that John Bowe, the reigning Australian Formula 1 champion and champion from the previous year, is equaling Robbie's times in the car. And that's a significant thing in endurance racing.
One other car that has been in for a quick stop is the Simon Emmerling car, the BMW. Has been in and out of the pit area very, very quickly indeed. Probably about a 15-second stop. Looking across to the Gerald K 24 Jag Parts entry. It's got problems, and here's another one creeping up there that Robbie Francevic is putting a lap on already, and that's the flexible hose entry, the Demolition Man, Barry Robertson and John Jeffrey. So they've got some problems. They're pulling right off the circuit.
Top Walkinshaw in